Welcome back, my friends, to the Moto Guzzi show that never ends. What are we going to talk about today, Sasha? Guzzi dog? Brooklands Cans. That's right. I did talk about making some Brooklands cans for this bike. Well, guess what happened? A couple of spare afternoons, and there we go. I like my new touring tank. Yeah, Honda 250 dirt bike. I don't want to get my nicely painted tank all scratched up while I'm playing with the bike. But anyways, yes, I made myself some Brooklands cans. What about that? What do you reckon? Another word for them is Brooklands silencers. Now, are they silent? What do you think? There she goes. Quite unique. I don't know of many Guzzis that are running cans like that. Yeah, just something to be a little different, and because I'm running the old header pipes, too tight ass to pay for new pipes, I thought, well, let's make some silencers. Hell's teeth. Looked around the yard, I found a sheet of 16 gauge, and I thought, well, you know, it's a little over the top, a little heavy, but heavy means quieter, doesn't it? I don't know. So anyway, I made these from memory, from recalling pictures I'd seen of them, and I just guessed at the dimensions. The front pipe extends in 2 inches. The rear pipe comes in 2 inches, and there's nothing in between, no baffles, because I understand that Brooklands cans didn't have baffles and were meant to silence the engine. So you wanna try it, see if it is quiet? You really want to? Okay, let's give it a go. Ignition on, fuel on. She's cold. I've graduated to a makeshift ignition switch. Okay, choke is on, so let's see what happens. How about that? Nothing runs like a deer, but nothing idles like a Guzzi. Okay, turned her off now. Now, it's not an unpleasant noise, but it's just a little too much. Really, when you wind it open, that thing at the end sounds like a trumpet, and it really roars. Which, if you're going to do long distance touring, 6 or 7 hours a day on the bike, probably more, you don't want that in your ear roll all the time. At the moment, she's running without an air cleaner, so she's a tiny bit weak. So that particular side seems to run weaker than this. So I've got to check out that I've got the needle in the right position, and also that the pilot circuit is clear, and also check the slide. Now, one of them has got a worn slide in. I didn't think it was too bad, but maybe it is, and it may be that one. So I'm gonna have to pull that down, check it out. But I've got new floats coming for them. I've got the stay up floats, and I got a bunch of needle jets for them, new needle jets. Needles look okay in these. You can see where this one is flooded, the float stuck. I had to put another float in because the float that was in there obviously had a little hole in it. It was filling with gas and then sucking more fuel in. You can see where my fancy engine paint, the fuel is taking it right off. And what's the freaking point of engine paint if it's not fuel resistant? Whatever. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the way things are. I've retimed the engine. I've given it a little bit more advance, and I think we're in a nice position now. Obviously, got to road test it. The joy of these distributors is you can undo that bolt there just a tad, so that when you're going down the road, you can give it a twist to find the sweet spot. To find the position where the engine likes it the best. Obviously, it's not as fancy as electronic ignition, but when you think of what a simple thing a distributor is, one set of points, one condenser, one coil, 3 HT leads, one to each plug, one to the coil. Why would you want anything different? Maybe twin contact breaker coils would be better, but then again, you've got twice as much stuff. 2 contact breakers, 2 coils, 2 condensers, la-di-da. Doesn't matter. I prefer this to electronic ignition every time. Okay, so what did I want to talk about? Oh, Brooklands Cans. Yes, it's going to be a long one, this. So make yourself a cup of tea, come back later. Now, when I built these, I was just going from memory, and I just made a cardboard cutout, and I made it from that with what would fit in that position between that bracket there and there. What would probably not hit the ground. Don't forget, this is a touring bike. It's not going to be cranked over real hard. What would end about there. Didn't want to go behind the bike because a lot of the big Brooklands Cans had a massive fishtail on. Didn't want to go that route. I wanted to go halfway between a Velocette silencer and a true Brooklands can. So this is what I came up with. Now it's a little bit noisier. Did I get it right or what? Well, like most good men, I didn't look at the instructions, didn't even look for any, just went ahead and made it. And then after I realized how much noise she was making, I thought, well, maybe okay for racing, but not really for the road. I wonder if there's any information out there. So, yes, there is. Oh boy. Okay, in this publication, which is a great little book, Speed and How to Obtain It, first published in, I believe, 1925, there are a few pages. Now I'll go back in case you want to freeze frame and look at it. But basically, it talks about the 2 pipes can't be opposite one another, etc, etc, etc. Now for the fishtail, engines with a capacity up to and including 2 litres, the width of the fishtail outlet should be not more than 1/4 inch. Well, mine is just over 1/2 inch. And the up and down measurement should be not more than 6. Mine's 5.5. Right, there's other stuff in here. Now, I had a look out for it in my book. My book's in 1962, I believe. And this is not in there. So obviously by 62 they'd realised that Brooklands cans were redundant. So anyway, looked a little bit more. And in this, if you can see it with the sun, in this, oops, magnets are too tough. Here we have something from the MMM yearbook, which is the Magnet Midget and Magenta. It's MG Club anyway. And they talk about the Brooklands silencer, various sizes, and the fact that you can't have the inlet and the outlet opposite one another. They have to be separated, and it goes into a whole lot of things. But on the other page, now bear in mind these are for cars. These are for cars. Now, trust me, this car here is 850cc, which is more or less the same as a Guzzi. And the size or the capacity of the silencer itself at 2400cc, so 2.4 litres for an 850 car. Now I've measured mine, and mine is 2.47 litres, so I hit that smack on. The inlet and outlet pipe's 1.5 inches, which I've got. So the only place that I screwed up was on the tail. Now, on the tail, a 1/4 inch thickness, you're allowed to drill holes from halfway back, and the holes must be no more than 332, and any number allowed. Now, if you remember, the Velocette silencer is drilled all the way back, and then it's got flutes here. So I didn't really want to go drilling it. So I did some calculations. These are my Brooklands can equation formula with all the relevant equations that I can remember. So starting at the top, we get some very complicated mathematics here. And then just for additional information, how the Germans do it. And then a little bit more calculation on speed. And then a side note for all the people who buy KTM 790s who think they're getting an Austrian bike. Okay, putting that to the side for the moment, let's go back and have a look at the silencer. Right, now this and this are all bent, and the only weld, the main piece, is on the bottom at the back. So what I can do is I can put baffles in this. Obviously I can't stuff them in from the back because this is in the way, and I don't really want to cut all this off. I don't want to cut the front off either, although I could push a baffle in there. So the exhaust gases come in, they expand into an area 6 times larger than the cylinder, which, according to other things I've read about Brooklands cans, is right. This has got to be 6 times more than the swept volume of one cylinder. So bang on the money there. You see, you don't have to have brains to be brilliant. It just happens that way if you're born that way. Anyway, so exhaust gases come in here like that, and they go out there like that, and then they get diffused. Now I could drill holes, but cans are drilled on both sides, and I don't want hot air going this way. And the reason for that is because this bike is going to be carrying panniers, and I like soft panniers. I like the waterproof PVC top oil and panniers, so I don't want any hot air going that way. I want all the hot exhaust gases coming out the back and escaping. So what I propose to do is to open the back up and then I'll put a baffle in somewhere about here, about that height, about 1.5 inches from the top, which is the same diameter as my pipe. And then on the rear end I will have another plate coming down again to about 1.5 inches here. So the exhaust gases have got to come up, down and around, and I'm hoping that's not going to be too restrictive. Now I've got some perforated metal, not much, but I do have a little bit of perforated metal, so I was thinking of putting some perforated metal in there, halfway. Whether that's going to have any effect or not, I don't know. My calculations haven't really helped me there. So there we go. That is my plan. If you've got a better idea, let me know. And the joy of doing this is, it's great fun. You can play around. It's great fun, to make your own stuff. Sometimes it actually works. Great bragging rights. So that's what I plan to do. If you've got a better idea, please let me know in the next couple of days, because I'm going to be pulling these off, cutting the back open, and doing it up. You see, because I'll just show you the back. You see, so I could cut this and weld it back on, and you'd hardly notice. In fact, you won't notice it. So there we go. You want to hear it one more time? Why not? Whoops. So there you go, Guzzi fans. If it was a Harley, you'd say that same potato. It's a Guzzi, so it's going faster. So until next time, it's good night. It's goodbye from me. Goodbye from the Guzzi dog. Take care of yourselves, look out for one another. Shiny side up. Rubber side down. Keep it shiny, keep it Guzzi.